brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Klaw, Marvel Comics. Klaw is a fictional character, a supervillain appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. He is depicted as a human physicist who has been transformed into solid sound, and who wears a sonic emitter on his right wrist as a prosthetic device. He has often been shown in conflict with the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, and is an enemy of the Black Panther and Kar-El. The character is featured in other Marvel-endorsed products such as arcade and video games, animated television series, and merchandise such as trading cards. Andy Serkis portrays the character in the film Avengers: Age of Ultron, and will reprise the role in the 2018 film Black Panther. Fictional character biography. Ulysses Klaw is the son of Nazi war criminal Colonel Fritz Klaw of the Blitzkrieg Squad led by Baron Strucker. He was sent to Wakanda to learn their secrets by Adolf Hitler. After World War II, he moved back to Belgium and later anglicized his name to Klaw, and raised his son with tales of Wakanda. Klaw later becomes a physicist, working in the field of applied sonics, in order to continue his design of a sound transducer which converts sound waves into physical mass. Klaw steals the metal vibranium to power his device. This is a metal substance known to exist only in certain meteoric deposits in the small African nation of Wakanda. By stealing this rare mineral, Klaw comes into conflict with the Wakandan ruler, superhero T'Chaka, whom Klaw murders in cold blood. T'Chaka's adolescent son T'Challa, who watched his father fall to the invaders, then attacks Klaw. To avenge his father, Klaw manages to escape at the cost of his right hand. Years later, Ulysses resurfaces with a sonic emitter gun on his right wrist as a replacement Black Panther and superhero team the Fantastic Four in New York State, but he is defeated. Klaw is imprisoned, but freed by the Crimson Cowl, which turns out to be an alias of Ultron. Joining the second incarnation of the Masters of Evil, Klaw and the other villains battle superhero team the Avengers. The Avengers, however, defeat them, with the Black Panther subduing Klaw. Klaw would attempt to reform the second Masters of Evil to fight the Avengers, but his scheme would be foiled by the all-female team, the Lady Liberators. Managing to escape custody again, Klaw journeys back to Wakanda, where he helps steal a device capable of augmenting the metal disintegrating property of a vibranium alloy. Encountering the Thing, the Human Torch, and the Black Panther, Klaw is defeated. Klaw later joins forces with the murderer Solar, and traps the Avengers within a solid sound barrier. Klaw threatens to execute them if the Black Panther does not abdicate the throne of Wakanda to him. The Panther manages to subdue Klaw and Solar before he could make good his threat. Klaw is later freed from prison by a member of the extra-dimensional race of Shinarians, who wish him to use his sonic powers to help open a dimensional portal big enough for their invading armada to enter Earth. Klaw agrees and after a skirmish with Kar-El in London, travels with the Shinarian to the Savage Land where there is a vibranium deposit large enough to create the portal. After Kar-El repulsed the invaders, Klaw flees into the Shinarian dimension, and unable to salvage anything substantial from his allies, uses their technology to return to Earth, materializing in the nexus of all realities located in the Florida Everglades. Klaw happens upon the wand of the Molecule Man, helping the Molecule Man find a body to possess. Klaw and his new ally travel to New York to wreak revenge on their common enemy, the Fantastic Four. Klaw is subdued by the visiting Impossible Man. Klaw found his powers waning, resulting in him having to manipulate the group of street youths into helping him gain the material needed to restore his power. With Black Panther's help, Klaw's scheme backfired. He found himself imprisoned within his own gun hand, which was stored at research facility Project Pegasus. In Marvel 2-in-1 Klaw is freed by fellow villain Solar, although both are defeated by a group of heroes, including the Thing, Quasar, Giant Man, and Aquarian. After that, Klaw fights the Thing, Quasar, and American Eagle. Klaw's career would soon take a downward spiral, after an encounter with the mutant Dazzler resulted in his humanoid form being dissolved, and his sound energy being blasted out into space, where it ended up being collected by Galactus. His energy was found by Doctor Doom during the limited series Secret Wars. Doom restored Klaw to normal. Sadly, the loss of his physical form had repercussions. Klaw now had the mind of a child and was quite insane, a symptom of which was speaking in rhyme. Doom exploited Klaw's madness, convincing the villain to redissect him as part of a mad gambit to steal the powers of both Galactus and the Beyonder. However, the Beyonder possessed Klaw after losing his powers, which led to Klaw tricking Doom into giving up his stolen godhood and teleporting the two back to Earth, where Klaw's mental state slowly healed. Klaw fought Daredevil and Vision, before being recruited by the Wizard to join his latest incarnation of the Frightful Four, attacking the Fantastic Four while the group performed a delicate scientific procedure on the Human Torch. Klaw threw the Thing into the medical pod that was attempting to drain the excess radiation from Torch, resulting in Ben Grimm being returned to normal. Klaw and his teammates, along with the Fantastic Four, would quickly be captured by the Rogue Watcher Aaron, who ultimately returned Klaw and his fellow villains to prison after the Fantastic Four broke free. Klaw's imprisonment would not last. Escaping during the Acts of Vengeance storyline, Klaw was taken in by AIM, who planted a pain control device into his gun hand to control him. He was sent to attack the reformed supervillainous Volcana, in hopes of luring out her lover Molecule Man, but abandoned the battle when his gun hand was destroyed. Klaw was later recruited by the Pacific Overlords group, led by Dr. Demonicus, but turned against the group, and instead aided the West Coast Avengers in defeating them. When it became apparent that Demonicus had become a thrall of a dangerous demon, he later joined Justine Hammer's version of the Masters of Evil, fighting the Thunderbolts on several occasions. When Earth's vibranium deposits began to explode due to a vibranium cancer introduced into the world when Captain America's shield was broken and improperly repaired, Klaw traveled to Wakanda with the goal of absorbing the sound energy of the imminent explosion to become even stronger. Captain America was able to defeat him when he used the damaged shield to absorb Klaw's attack. The blast realigned the shield molecules so that the shield was repaired, and the vibranium cancer destroyed. Klaw was featured in the opening arc of the fourth Black Panther series, a flashback story that featured the origin of the title character. The character ultimately resurfaced again, having successfully uploaded his sound-based essence onto the internet and was downloaded via BitTorrent by the Wizard to fight the Fantastic Four again as part of a new incarnation of the Frightful Four. Klaw was later seen with Wizard's Frightful Four when it comes to helping Intelligentsia capture Mr. Fantastic. Chameleon later poses as Klaw in order to infiltrate Intelligentsia and be ready for the Sinister Six to attack them. Klaw is enlisted by the Wizard to capture Carnage, so that he can be added to the latest version of the Frightful Four, alongside Carl Malice. The Wizard's attempts to control the symbiote fail, so he decides to bond it to Malice, and subdue his mind. Klaw subdues Malice, and the operation is a success, creating superior carnage. The Frightful Foundation then attack New York City Hall, as part of Wizard's plan to get his clone son's attention. During a battle with Superior Spider-Man, Wizard loses control of Superior Carnage, who stabs Klaw with a vibranium spear, causing him to detonate. The sonic explosion tears the symbiote away from Malice, and onto Wizard. But it then abandons him for Cassidy. As Carnage attempts to kill Wizard, Klaw, whose consciousness had been projected onto the sound wall of the universe by the explosion, focuses the last of his strength into creating a bolt of lightning that brings down Carnage, separating the symbiote from its host. Klaw reflects that could be his final act, as his essence spreads further into the sound wall, and will soon be too thin for him to retain his consciousness. During the Avengers Standoff storyline, Klaw was an inmate of Pleasant Hill, a gated community established by S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.